Good morning and welcome to a new episode of Thinking It Through with Tia. Um, Today I am coming back to return to questions. I realize I still have questions I haven't answered that people have asked. So I'm returning to address a question today because I don't want to leave these questions sitting. So with that in mind, I'm just going to shake up the jar and we'll figure out what we're going to be talking about today. I hope everyone's day is already starting off magnificently. So that's one. Okay, can you talk about growth in a relationship? How do you know if you should stay or go? Okay, growth in a relationship, how do you know if you should stay or go? Um, that's a very interesting question because it's all going to depend upon you and your relationship. This is not specific about the type of relationship that we're talking about. So I'm assuming we're talking about male to female, female to female, emotional relationships, romantic relationship, I guess is the way that I would say that. I'm assuming this question is about romantic relationships. How do you know if you should stay or if you should go? Generally, if you're at the point of asking that question of whether you should stay or if you should go, it is a great time to take a moment to step back and ask yourself what's really going on, right? I think that it's going to depend on the reasons you're staying and the reasons you desire to go. Sometimes you could stay because it's comfortable or because you're financially dependent or because you're emotionally dependent, i.e. codependent in some way with the person. You could be wanting to stay because you don't think that there's anyone else maybe that will come into your life. So you're trying to stay, you're holding on to someone that may not even truly desire you in the way that you desire them. It could be that you're staying out of control. You want to control the person that you're with. So it will be up to you to first identify what's going on in your own personal relationship. And then figure out, what is it that I'm running from? What are the benefits of staying? What are the benefits of going? Is this relationship healthy, right? I would always say that that's going to be one of the first questions that need to come up. Is the relationship healthy? Because if the relationship is not healthy, I personally would never suggest anyone staying in that unless they're working on the health of their relationship. If all you're going to do is continue to work on the relationship being at odds or broken or not solid, then it's best to sometimes let go. There is this saying that says sometimes holding on hurts more than letting go. And the image is holding tightly to a rope, and you could see the hand changing colors because the rope is like burning into the hand, but a person is holding on. If they let go, then the pressure of that pull is going. I like to say, ask yourself, is there friction, right? So is there friction or static in the situation? People could have disagreements that are able to be worked through, right? It's about the ability to overcome obstacles. Everybody has an ability to overcome obstacles. So just because a situation is tough doesn't mean you should go, right? It means that you should figure out, is it something that's fixable, right? So is it fixable? Is it true love there? Is it safe where you are? If it's not safe, of course, I would say start considering options to no longer stay in that place. Sometimes I have saw that people run from relationships that are trying to help them grow as well. So I would ask you, are you wanting to leave because the relationship is requiring more of you. And if that's the case, then you have to ask yourself, do you intend to grow ever? Because if you're not planning on growing, then you probably need to find a Peter Pan that plans on not growing as well, and go and be with someone else that doesn't want to grow up, and you probably will never have disagreements. Well, you're not about growing up, but you'll have disagreements because you're both thinking from a childish perspective. But otherwise, if you plan on growing, then you have to know that growth is a part of, change is a part of growth. So if you're growing, you're going to have to change. There are things that are going to have to change. Sometimes as you grow, what you eat changes, what you do changes, how you like spending your time changes. Maybe at a point in your life, you partied a lot and now you don't want to. And that's okay, right? Because you've grown, and nobody wants to do the same thing forever, right? So is the problem because you're growing that the relationship's not working, or because they want you to grow? If that's the case, then I will ask you to look within yourself and ask yourself, what's holding you back from wanting to grow? What are you afraid of when it comes to growth? Is there some kind of trigger that makes you feel that growing, it makes you maybe be someone you don't want to be, or someone maybe you don't identify with? A lot of this stuff really surrounds around comfort, right? Are you in this situation because it's comfortable, right? Are you here simply because it's comfortable? And them wanting something different is breaking your comfort, right? It's very hard to address this question without more details of what's meant by the question, because there could be so many different things that could happen in a relationship that you would have to determine whether or not you should stay or you should go. I think that you should really evaluate the fullness of the relationship, right? Evaluate multiple facets to best determine. Since I can't give you specifics because I don't know more, I would say, write out a list of areas in your life that are very important, right? So you could say, how does this relationship impact me financially? Okay. How does this relationship impact me emotionally, right? How does this relationship impact me physically, right? In my health. Is it making me sick? Is it making me feel strong? Is it making me feel doubt? Is it making me feel worried? Do I just see somebody else that I want and I think the grass is greener on the other side? We often find that the grass is fake, so be very careful about greener grass. What is it that is happening in the relationship to make you question it? One. And then how is the relationship impacting you? Does it impact your career, your ability to work? Meaning, does it make you so stressed out that you can't even hardly work? Does it make you so consumed that you're so consumed by the person that you can't do your job? What's happening in the relationship, and how is it affecting me in every aspect of me, so that you can get a full picture? And I think that once you see those answers written down, it will open your eyes a little more to help you realize whether or not there's an issue with someone else, or if there's just an issue with you not really wanting to grow up, or not really wanting to change and wanting to stay stuck in a comfort zone, and being upset because of another person's desire to grow. I would say, think of it this way: at least they're trying to grow with you, right? So even if the person is trying to grow, and in the way they're growing, it does lead to some changes, they're still trying to do that with you. So I think it would be worth it to try, right? To try to understand, to try to consider if this growth harms you or if this growth actually helps you, right? If you find it very difficult to do that, then you might want to look at getting into like some form of therapy, because you may have some traumas that are running a little bit deeper that it's not for your partner to heal traumas they didn't create, right? It's not their responsibility to heal the traumas they didn't make, right? So it might be a good idea to get into therapy or life coaching or something that gets you in with someone that helps you better understand you. And once you better understand you, you'll be able to better understand the person you're trying to build a relationship with, because that's going to be a very important key. If you don't understand you, then many of the things about the other person will be confusing, especially if the other person knows who they are. That can sometimes feel intimidating to people. So get to know you. Write out whatever areas of your life you care the most about and ask yourself, how is this impacting you? How would staying impact you? How would leaving impact you? So that you can make a good or conscious decision about what you want to do. I did pull a card before we started just to say what would the advice be on the question that was going to come out, because of course I never know the question before. And the card says, resilience is one of the strongest qualities you have. It has gotten you through so many trials and tribulations in the past, and it will continue to do so. Lean on that inner tower of strength anytime that you need it. You've got this. So the energy of this makes me feel like the energy of that question is that a person is not in a happy relationship and they're trying to force themselves to stay because they're afraid of what leaving looks like. So you're being reminded that you're resilient. You have power. Power simply to me means your ability to overcome. Your ability to overcome. And this shows me that whoever is dealing with this particular circumstance has overcome a lot of situations, and they will overcome this situation as well. They just have to believe that you can overcome it, and you will overcome it. Sometimes it simply boils down to choosing you. Choose what makes you happy. Choose what brings you joy. Choose love, right? If there is true, genuine love, choose love. If that's what makes you happy and that's what brings you joy, then choose love, right? Because when you choose love, a light shines, right? And sometimes it's great and sometimes not so much. When you choose love, a light shines out of you that allows you to sometimes see things around you that you couldn't see before. And you'll find out really quickly who's there for you and who's not. Because when you choose the things that make you happy, if that makes other people angry, then you will usually be able to know that there was probably some form of manipulation or something going on in your relationship. Because if a person truly cares for you, you being happy should make them happy. But if your desire to move on, to let go, to find your own peace and your own happiness makes others unhappy, just be grateful, because now you are beginning to see things more clearly. And you just have to accept that what you see is your truth. It is what it is, right? It is what's in front of you. And then at that point, you have to decide, will I continue to hold back my happiness to please everyone else because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or I don't want to make a person think that they're not good enough, or I don't want to do this, whatever it is that could come through your mind. If that's the life that you choose to live, then that's your choice, right? And it's okay. But please know that in doing that, you're not choosing love. In fact, you're not choosing love of even self, because you're allowing yourself to not experience fullness of self for the sake of pleasing others. Again, that might be time for there to be some kind of therapy or assistance to help you deal with some of the deeper traumas that are going on that makes you think that you owe to the world more than you owe to yourself, that your own personal happiness doesn't hold as much value as making other people happy. So I hope that this answers the question. Whoever submitted the question, if it didn't, please just let me know if there's more that I can answer for you. But I definitely wish you the best on this journey or path of self and love and life for yourself. Thank you for asking the question of me, and trusting that I would be able to provide you an answer that helps to support you. If there are any other questions or anything else that anyone wants to submit, you can submit them to me through email. The information is in the description box. Otherwise, this is where I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's question. But thank you so much for being here with me, for joining me, for sharing this journey with me. This has been such a beautiful journey as life is unfolding in such magnificent ways. It's my honor to be able to come in and answer more questions for people and just try to be of assistance, as I know that this journey of life is filled with ebbs and flows. It's ups and downs, but the more you relax into the flow of it, the more the journey just seems so worthwhile and so fulfilling. So I hope that you find fulfillment in yourself and in your life, and that it allows you to take a new leap of faith in directions that are more fulfilling for you, and that you find the fullness of yourself and realize that on the other side of fear is limitless possibilities. All right. Wishing everyone a magnificent day. Thank you for joining me.